Now let's go to Step 2, Part 3 of investing in a business, the golden formulas to your massive passive income. Step 2, Part 3. There are two uses for this particular formula. The first way is to gauge the profitability of the business you're about to invest in. Looking in another perspective, the second way will be to calculate whether you're making money from that investment. That's ROI, your return on investment if you're going to invest a lump sum of money into the business, and whether you're getting your return. Formula 4, Return of Investment, ROI. Formula for ROI. Scenario 1 for business. Business itself is already an investment. To confirm whether the business you're about to invest in is making money, maintaining a positive cash flow, you'll need to find out the ROI of that particular business for the period of at least 2 to 5 years. How to go about doing it? You have to identify the total revenue and cost of the business. ROI of that business can be calculated by subtracting the total cost for the company to run at an efficient and optimum rate from the total revenue of the year, and then divide it over the total cost you've identified earlier and multiply the amount you got. That's the ROI of the company. The ROI is equivalent to the net income from a business or a project divided by the total money invested in the venture multiplied by 100. By venture, I mean other investors. For example, they spent $100,000 to open a digital publishing company and make a net profit of $15,000 in 1 year. So their annual ROI equals $15,000 divided by $100,000 times 100 equals 15%. When calculating ROI, the investment will include not only what the investor spent out of pocket, but also all the borrowed funds. In the same example, the owner might have invested $60,000 out of pocket and secured a loan for $40,000. You must be wondering why you need to calculate the ROI in two ways. Here's why. It does make a lot of sense to think that you only need to know the ROI of the business, but a winner will further ponder in the event where the company's ROI is high. Definitely, the ROI for the money you invested is high too, but the question is, how high? Scenario 2, for yourself, more commonly known as return of equity, ROE. As an investor, you must know the potential return before investing. Never invest in a business that has ROI lower than 5%. How is the ROI for business different from the ROI for yourself? Well, think about it this way. If the ROI of the business you invested in is 6%, does that mean your ROI is 6% as well? You can calculate ROE by dividing the net income by the equity of the investor and multiplying the result by 100. In this example, the digital publisher's owner has an equity stake of $60,000 in the business. So ROE equals $15,000 divided by $60,000 times 100 equals 25%. This means that for every dollar invested, 25 cents were made. The ROI of 15%, on the other hand, means that for every dollar of combined assets and loans invested, the business yielded a 15 cents average profit. An ROI of 8 to 10% is ideal. This should happen every month at all times. When the investment is fully funded by equity and there is no loan involved, the equity and total amount invested are the same. In such cases, the ROI and ROE are also identical. When a loan or investor is involved, however, the ROE will be higher than it would have been without the loan if the additional profit made possible by the loan exceeds the loan's interest expense. Assume you can invest $60,000 and open a small-scale digital publishing company that will return $12,000 annual profit. Or you can borrow $40,000 more and open a far larger laundromat that will net $19,000 in profit. You should borrow funds and run a larger business if the interest expense on the loan is less than $7,000 additional profit made possible by the loan. If it is, your ROE will grow. In the next module, we'll be discussing Step 3 in business investment. In Step 3, the cost of investment and how to leverage using what you already have will be revealed.